the party of science and the party of pro-women advocates. Here with us, Peyton McNam, independent women ambassador and a former high school volleyball player. Her career ended after a trans athlete spiked a ball into her face. Also with me, Carrie Severino, former Supreme Court clerk for Justice Clarence Thomas. Carrie, let's start with you. How does this pass any straight face test? I mean, I can't believe most of the justices just weren't laughing them, out of the court today, given what I heard.
Absolutely. And you played that quote from Justice Alito. It's outrageous. They're saying, yeah, we need to know what men and women are. We don't know what men and women are. And you're going, well, how are you even arguing this case? There were some really shocking statements and things. Justice Alito had another great question where he said, wait a minute, if you have another man who wants to play on a women's team and is not transgender, isn't that the discrimination? You're only allowing transgender men who think they're transgender to play on women's teams. That's the discrimination. They had no answers. I think this was a good day for arguments because I think it opened up, it made it clear what the insanity was.
Peyton, just for the sake of common sense, explain to us why the argument for the biological male petitioners was so off base, given your practical experience as an athlete.
Yeah, I would say to my brain injury and my concussion, my permanent lung damage to my body, that there's a clear biological difference between a man and a woman. To me, you lose all credibility if you're a Supreme Court justice and you can't answer the question of what a woman is. And it's not even that. You are a woman and you can't even explain what a woman is. It is just so embarrassing and shameful. And I agree with you. This is just going to continue to lose things for them because it is just so ridiculous. The American people are tired of it, and ultimately, it's up to the high court to make that claim.
This is even at the court. I'm
exactly.
Sorry. I go back to my angle, Carrie, that the Democrats have gone so far left, they've left America. They've just left America altogether. And they had a lot of their advocates on cable television today. And even under, very mild questioning, they all fall apart. Watch this.
Harm to biological girls losing to transgender athletes. Do you see that dynamic, even at the younger levels, as a harm?
I think it's about framing. To exclude them and tell them that they're other, that they don't belong, that they should be removed from these spaces, it creates a harm that is simply unnecessary.
Carrie, I would never say that you're an other on my show. You are very much together with us, so you're not an other. But you feel sorry for these individuals. They've been lied to, and somebody hurt them along the way, and they're hurting now. And yet we have to entertain this as this is a real, that was a real interview.
Yeah, it's really not kind to even the transgender athletes to try to pretend things that aren't true. And I think you're right. There were a lot of questions that brought that out. Like, is it really true that on average, what percentage of these medals are going to transgender athletes? Are transgender women athletes actually performing equivalently to women? Of course they're not. We all know that's the case. And Justice Kavanaugh brought out how this is not just let's be kind to people who are confused about their sex. There's a zero-sum game here. Every time someone gets on a team, someone else is taken off that team. Every time someone is starting in a lineup, someone else is not in that starting lineup. So there are real harms here.
I might not have played field hockey in high school if those JV soccer players could have taken my spot. So data from the Women's Liberation Front shows that biological men are taking medals away from female athletes. Peyton, over 600 female athletes, to Carrie's point, more than 400 competitions have lost more than 890 medals in 29 different sports to biological men. Peyton, how does that make you feel as a former athlete, to see that harm and have it blown off and dismissed by these radical advocates?
I mean, Laura, we're completely regressing here. Everything that women have worked so hard for, to have these equal opportunities, and we're going backwards, and they're thinking that we should celebrate it. I mean, even one woman, this happening to one woman is way too much. And that argument that the Democrats have, that this is just one person, that was just one girl that got injured by the volleyball. Okay, that affected my whole life, but other than that, it's not just one girl anymore. As you can see today, it was filled, it was packed, and all these women and all these girls have had to experience this in some way. So that's not even a
awful.
good argument anymore. We're tired of it, and more girls get hurt every day when this continues to be allowed.
It's like an 85% issue, by the way. But again, radicals and fanatics are radicals and fanatics. They won't give way to logical thought or common sense. Peyton, Carrie, you made sense of it all for us. Thank you very much.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.